Seperation once again. This is my Metro Last Light Ranger Hardcore difficulty video walkthrough. This is Chapter 5, entitled Seperation. And you're now with Pavel, exploring more of the undergrounds of Metro, and the video, once more, is very dark, folks. I do apologise. Hopefully, if you play it in a high resolution, and you've got it on a big screen on YouTube, it should be okay, but it's pretty damn dark. And I did mess with a few settings to make it better, but it didn't look this bad when I was playing. It's one of those things where the capture devices themselves do make things darker, which is why a lot of people will adjust the brightness in After Effects or in a compositing suite, which is a good habit to get into, but a lot of people that do this don't put out as many videos as I do, and it's one of those things where it adds to the workflow. And at this moment in time, because this is all off my own back and I'm barely getting any money for doing it, I can't really add any more time to what I'm, devoting to YouTube, because I'm devoting far too much as it is. But it is one of those things where if I were hired to make walkthroughs for a channel or for a site, depending on what standards they had, I would definitely look into things like, adding things in post, doing a lot more compositing and things of that nature. Mainly because at that point I would be upgrading to a faster processor, which would allow me to do it much quicker than this one, even though this one is really, really good. And also, it would be one of those things where when you're being paid to do it, I don't mind putting in ridiculous hours, because I'm a type of person who's not afraid to work, guys. It's one of those things, if it's something I enjoy and something I believe in, I will bust my balls pulling 24-hour days. It doesn't bother me at all. I'll pull all-nighters, I'll pull double all-nighters, as long as I feel like I'm doing something that matters, doing something of value. And that is the biggest frustration on YouTube at this moment in time, where I believe I'm putting out really good work and I'm still essentially undervalued and anonymous, which really sucks. But this sequence here, I'm going to be stealthing through this entire sequence. I said sequence twice in a row, which I usually try to avoid, because I'm not a fan of using the same, descriptor for things, or they're just the same word in general. But what's happening here is I'm also not going to be killing anybody, because I'm going for the Shadow Ranger, even though I don't do it in this run. And what I'm doing here, if you're wondering, I'm waiting for the conversation in that room to stop. And I was trying to see if I lined up the gun sight on the light, if the dagger would throw where the gun sight was. And as you can see, the daggers can be a little bit finicky when it comes to breaking lights. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. But all we're waiting for here is the room to my left. There's a bunch of dudes that are going to move to their left into the adjacent room. We're waiting for that to happen, because before it does, it can be really difficult sneaking through this next room, purely because you will be aware, you will be visible at a certain point, and the dudes will fuck you up. But just wasting some time throwing knives, because it can take a while in any stealth game doing a sequence such as this. And if you follow this video, you will get an achievement for not being spotted and not killing anybody. I think it is something like that on this level, and on, in fact, every one of the levels that offer that. So that's kind of cool. Nice little double entendre there of achievements. But it does take a while, so we are in this moment in some dead time while I'm waiting for this conversation. And I don't have subtitles on, or else we would know how far through it is, and I can't hear at this moment in time because I don't have sound. And I'm going to save my sound story for another video, because I want to do a little bit of a vent. But there they go. Two of them have left the conversation, so now you want to creep through into this room and immediately go left. There's a guy on your right, but he's kind of sleeping / dozing, so he's none the wiser, and you should be good now to move up these stairs and get to the next sequence. Here's me trying to line up the knife throw. It doesn't really work. It's better to just, go with your gut than to try and do that, because... But then again, the easiest way to turn lights off is to go up to them and press them off. Or if you've got a silenced weapon, shoot them with a weapon. So I'm looking at this light here, very suspicious of people being able to see me. I'm using knives because I've got nothing better to use them for, because I'm not going to be doing lethal kills against humans. So if you're using your knives, don't be as cavalier as I am, because they're so important. You can buy them and find them frequently, but it's better to pick them up. You feel a lot more like Rambo when you do that. But this room here, there's a guy in it. He's not a threat to you. You can knock him out if you want to. You can leave him if you want to. It's entirely up to you. If you kill him, you will get negative points. If you leave him alive, you will get positive points. And if you're looking for the good or the bad ending, you want to do accordingly. So I'm going to knock him out. And that don't look comfortable at all. That looked like he broke his neck on the fall. and then started clipping on his own neck until his body could write into a position where it could settle on the geometry better. Very strange. But this is the end of Seperation. We're just going to be going through this next vent, and I'll see you in the next one. So thank you for watching, and you take care now.